All right, you guys are not ready. Hey! What's up, everyone, and welcome to the very first Sunday with Ola with actual, well, let's just pretend it was vocals. I'm not completely confident about, letting you guys hear my regular voice while singing. That's why there's so much distortion and shit. But I think it was fitting for the song, no? I think it was pretty cool. What? Oh my God, what a glorious day. Why is it glorious, May? Why is it such a glorious day today? Well, it's because I have a lot of really good news for you guys. First of all, I'm just really excited. Is that okay? So I'm gonna give you guys a little quickie right here. It's Jason Frankhauser's 2.6 version of his signature guitar. And dude, what a monster of a guitar this is, man. Holy shit. As you can see, you have the silver burst right there with the gloss finish, but the neck is satin. Oh, fuck me. Okay, and it made me write this incredible ballad of Suck My Balls. So, there you go. Dude, I'm so excited to have another Sunday with Ola with you guys right now. I'm heading into the news. Also, before I start, I just want to talk about the vinyl for Chug Project number 3. And just as usual with vinyl, they're freaking late. You know, the Chug Project number 3 was released in June, but we still haven't seen any vinyl. We already started sending out all the guitarist editions and all of that. It's just the vinyl that are not done because they got delayed. And I'm a little sick and tired of vinyl. Why the hell do they always need to be delayed? I don't know. I'm just so sick and tired of vinyl right now. But I have some sort of a date for you guys. Late July, we will get the vinyl finally, so we can ship it out to you guys. Thank you so much for the patience, guys, and also thank you so much for all the support in regards to Chug Project number 3. Okay, let's head into the news. This is a complete vindication! Dean Guitars Maker has won the right to a retrial in Gibson's trademark dispute. If you didn't follow along, Gibson sued Dean a couple of years back in terms of the V shape and the E shape, or in Dean's case, it's called the Z. Alongside the Dove Wing headstock and several other marks, Gibson won the trial in 2022. However, Armadillo appealed the decision earlier this year, arguing that the Texas District Court's ruling to exclude certain evidence of the generic nature of Gibson shapes, specifically evidence that originated before 1992, was an abuse of the court's discretion. Amongst other issues, the court recognized the history of the Dean brand in their long-standing use of these guitar models, as well as countless other guitar companies that have produced and marketed these same guitars. So obviously this is a win for a lot of guitar brands out there, not only Dean. I mean, they've sold the V and the E, or the Z shape for over 40 years. Coming in 40 years later trying to protect your trademark, it might been a tad too late. And also obviously Gibson are gonna appeal this decision, and there's just gonna be a new trial with new evidence. So, very interesting to see. As of right now, very good spot for a lot of guitar makers. 2 weeks ago, Sepultura Reunion looked likely, but now Max Cavalera has changed his frickin' mind. It's definitely out of the question. It's not gonna happen. That's yeah, I would say that's a complete backtrack from what he said a couple weeks back. Cavalera says there's no longer any need for the classic era Sepultura to return. Okay, I understand what he's saying. Look, dude, that's a sick picture. The more the time passes, the more I feel that I don't need to reunite with Sepultura. The real reunion is between myself and Igor, and I did that. It's pure magic and amazing what we're doing right now. So, if you haven't tagged along on this journey with Sepultura and Cavalera Conspiracy has basically re-recorded old Sepultura albums and selling them as new. They're out there touring, they're pulling a large enough crowd. I mean, it's basically almost old Sepultura. It just says Cavalera Conspiracy on the banner. If we end up doing Sepultura Reunion, it's almost like we can't go back to the Cavalera thing, you know? It won't really make sense. People will probably be like, I don't want to go watch Cavalera if they're doing a real reunion. To me, I don't want to do that because I love what we have here in the Cavalera now. It's so badass. So, yeah, it's understandable. The era of Derek Green and post-Cavalera Sepultura has been so long and so many albums that it would be weird if Max Cavalera came back and they only did Cavalera Sepultura songs. As a tribute, fuck yeah, would totally go do that. Sepultura tribute. Or just continue going with Cavalera Conspiracy. I don't care. I'd love to see both. Kerry King explains why he played bass on every Slayer record since the 90s. I think I have an idea why, but let's read on. It's not because Tom was bad at bass. Why did King take up 4-string mantle in the studio? Long story short, Araya never really learned the songs. In an interview with Guitar World, King also noted that Araya is perfectly capable of playing the songs live. It's just that he never really got it together in the studio. So I've already done my guitar tracks. Jeff's done his guitar tracks and Tom doesn't know the bass part. I can pick up a bass and get it done in less than a day because I already know the songs. It got to where he messed around and played one song for 8 hours before he got frustrated and just said, here, you do it. I don't want anybody to think for a second that he couldn't do it if he had the time to learn. Absolutely makes a lot of sense. If Kerry King wrote all the songs for a full album, and you know, he's really into it, he knows the songs on the guitar, he absolutely saved time, record a bass. They're probably not going to play all those songs live, so it's better to pick and choose the songs that they're going to play live, and Tom can learn that. It's basically all about saving time and hassle. And then you can argue that the will of Tom wanting to be, you know, playing the bass on the album and not being interested enough to do that. I mean, at the end of the day, everything is about time and saving time. In a studio costs a lot of money. Hello. Hey, hunden. Hey, hunden. Okay, next. Zoltan of Bathory. On big metal bands like Five Finger Death Punch and Disturbed, without us, you're not going to be able to recruit people to the genre. Absolutely, this goes without saying. Bands like this are very important to pull in new fans into the genre. I mean, a lot of people were shitting on nu metal when it came around, you know, Korn and Limp Bizkit and Deftones being not true to metal. Well, those guys made it more accessible. You know, Disturbed, POD, Linkin Park. Linkin Park is probably the best example for this. They pulled in a lot of new listeners to the genre. We should be happy about that. Do I even need to read what he's saying? Let's read. Okay, he's talking about gatekeeping right there. This is what I would say to these metalheads. It's like, man, for your band that you love, especially the more underground the band is, for them to create art that you like, they have to survive. And if you want them to survive, that means they have to sell records. And they have to be able to sell concert tickets. And because it's such a sub-genre, they're not going to be able to do that. So you see these great artists who are in bands, but also have a job or two on the side, and they can't tour sometimes. So what you're getting is like, if you're a fan of those extreme bands, they're not making the money. So the only way they can do that is if the audience broadens. Look at that. So we all should thank Zoltan and Five Finger Death Punch, Disturbed, Creed, all these bands for actually bringing in people into metal. And absolutely, I agree. All right, I don't know if you saw this, but this has been popping up on my Instagram for the past couple of weeks. It's a priest playing drums. Father Hyacinth Marie Cordell is playing drums, and he's playing Meshuggah Bleed. Let's go. He's very light on the touch, I must say. Maybe you don't want to be too loud in front of God, you know, in God's house. But dude, isn't that fucking cool? He's sitting there with a robe and all. Holy Spirit notes. Oh, dude, that's fucking terrible. Biblically accurate Meshuggah. Comments are great, man. The comments are great. Yeah, man. Holy shit. I thought that was pretty cool. The Instagram account is Benedictus Domine. Dude, I'm gonna follow. There we go. And that, my friends, was the news. Currently on vacation, family England and the dog at Öland in Sweden, which is a windy place, I must say. So yeah, we're just hanging about, having coffee, doing shit. Louise working for the Instagram. How's it going? Alright. This is what goes into Pix's Instagram account. Even though we're on vacation, we still have to figure out some content for Pix Instagram. I don't care about mine, it's all about Pix now. Lilla hunden. Pixie. Nej, nej. Vad hittar du för något? Vad hittar du för något? Hej Pixerino! Hej, vad kul det är. Jo, här tittar jag på du här. Hej hunden! album tip of the day, or it's not really an album, I just wanted you guys to check out a fucking awesome and amazing band. I saw that they were playing on Hellfest when I was there, but I didn't get a chance to watch them live. They're called Kanonenfieber, and they just released a new single called Panzer Henker. Check this out. It's an incredible mix of black and death metal, and they sing in German, and it's sick as hell. Hell yeah, man. And the cool thing is that when they're playing live, let's see if I can find a live video. They wear these cool outfits, World War I outfits. Let's see. Okay, look at this. Oh, this is from Hellfest. Oh, we played the same stage, I think. Oh shit, he's playing SWOLA too. Holy f***. That's a coincidence, guys. That's a coincidence, I promise. Look at this. Hell yeah, man. Very cool band that I want you guys to check out, okay? Let's go. Album tip of the week. That's a band tip of the week. Let's go. All right, question of the day. The segment where you ask me a question and I do my absolute best to answer it. Today's question is from Grattis. Hola, hola, just caught your set with the Haunted at Hellfest and it was the most epic thing I've ever seen. Thank you. I just wanted to ask, I was a bit further back what you were using for this gig. I saw on stage that was a 5150 and a 6505. Was this just Jensen's rig and you were using the Cortex, or did you choose to run a tube amp this show? Much love and keep up the awesome. Thank you so much for that question. Now, at Hellfest, I was using the Kemper Profiler player, and I actually made a video of this. So you can click up here, you can go watch that video where I was preparing for Hellfest, and then also a segment from Hellfest where I was, putting up the, But usually I do use the quad Cortex and I hook it up into a power amp or something like that. With the Kemper Profiler player, I was only using it going direct because I couldn't really get a good amplifying cabinet tone going from the Kemper Profile unit into the amping cabinet, the 5150 that you saw. We went direct. I like to be able to use both options, where I still have the amplifying cabinet behind me that I can listen through, and also be able to go direct. So the audio engineer, Judas in this case, can decide what to use, basically, depending on the situation. Sometimes guitars sound like shit and you just want to have different options. But as of right now, I'm just trying out different ways of playing live. I've been using quad Cortex and fractal stuff for the past couple of years, and I tried a Kemper Profiling amp at Hellfest. Now I'm trying the Fender Tone Master and giving that a fair shot, to see how that works and sounds live. It's not only, about the sound, it's also the feel, and it's easier for me to feel when I'm playing live, for instance, to see if a unit's good or not. So for the next show, maybe I'll try something else. How about like the pod thing, the small little Line 6 pod thing. So there you go. Thank you so much for the question. Hiya.
Who's up there? You won't escape that way.
Okay. You probably didn't ask for it, but here it is anyways. Here's an update on the Pruttmobile, the Fartmobile. I'm heading over to get an evaluation of it, and hopefully I get to drive it for another year. Oh shit, now the gear's stuck. Ugh, there it is. No problem. So yeah, hopefully it goes through and passes through the evaluation. And worst case scenario, I have no idea what to do. I taped the rear light, so it should be okay right now, and it should be stuck and make actual light. That's pics right there, and yeah, man. Okay, här står att det inte finns någon bokning. All right. Okay.
bakluckor lite grann.
Läckert. Okej.
Litet avgångsbagage här.
Okej.
Lite bromsskivorna är fram också.
Okej.
De är väldigt rostiga.
Ja.
Och sen fjäder som har fått av här.
Okej. Ja, okej. Ja, jag ser.
Den här står ner.
Nej. Alltså den är lite trött i växellådan. Men...
Ja, du kopplingen.
Ja.
Det är så, jag var lite igång till ettan, men sen vet jag fan, det blir någon jävla fart.
Nej. I don't have high hopes for this. I hope it passes, okay? Let's hear what she says after she's driving around the block. So, it had a couple of problems right there. It will not be legal to drive this car in a month. That's the verdict. So either I fix all these problems before that, but I think it's time to let this one go. I'll probably try and sell this car for parts, unfortunately, which is a shame. If I would have been a car guy, I could probably fix all of this easy, but I'm not, so I probably have to sell this car, unfortunately. So yes, very sad ending to the story of this car that has really served me well this past year. And yeah, but it has to go, unfortunately. It's hard to say. All right, before I end this on with all, I want to talk about a raffle I'm running on my YouTube membership Discord, okay? You have to be a member of my channel to access my Discord, and there we're running raffles and stuff like that sometimes. I want to get back into that. I'm trying to ramp up my membership again. It's been pretty stale for a while. I'm still doing the member weekly updates and some extra stuff, and I'm also hanging on the Discord every day almost. But I want to wrap it up. I want to make it, make YouTube membership great again. You know? So, you know that video I made of the Jackson SL2 with the yellow pickups and all that? That guitar is being raffled away in my YouTube membership Discord this coming week. I have to go get it. Hang on. Give me a second. This guitar. I'm raffling away this guitar in the YouTube membership Discord raffle channel right there. So you can become a member and have a chance to win this. And since, it's not an open raffle, the chances of winning is pretty high, I must say. Hello! There's also some more things that I'm planning for the YouTube membership that's coming out later, okay? But if you want to become a member, you click the join button down below, okay? Thank you so much. And then you link up to Discord. There's also a link. There's just links everywhere, man. Okay, thank you so much for letting me speak. Guys, thank you so much for joining in on Sunday with Ola 197. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I guess that's it. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.